Well, hello there. This is Emily with Along for the Roll, and here we are, in bed, in sweats. It's one of those days. I've just been really tired this week, and just need to take it easy with this video and be chill. Not that the rest of my videos aren't chill and super casual. I thought I would take it another step. So today I'm going to be doing a little pregnancy update. I am going into my 27th week on Friday, so in a day or two. So I'll be going into my third trimester, so kind of a recap on the second trimester. So I had a prenatal visit last week, and that went fine. Everything was cool. I saw different practice is kind of, you get kind of thrown around from person to person, and so I saw a nurse midwife that day and was kind of asking her about my birth preferences, which are kind of around a natural birth or just like a birth and labor with as little intervention as possible. And so she recommended that I see go to the Center for Midwifery at the hospital. So my next appointment is there. She just suggested that would kind of align more with my goals for birth process. So very interested about that, and I definitely agree with her on that. I think midwives are a lot better at kind of that holistic approach to the birthing process, and obviously aren't as focused on the medical model. We'll see how that goes. That's in 2 weeks. Another thing I had done during that visit was my gestational diabetes screening. All good, no gestational diabetes. Also finally got to weigh myself. So that's the whole thing being in a wheelchair, is figuring out how to weigh yourself. I don't know, how do other people do it? That's a great question I have. Please tell me, educate me, because I'm struggling with that. Especially in my pregnancy. I know weight isn't everything, and I don't feel necessary to weigh myself every week, but at least a few updates in the 9 months would be great. So far I've only weighed myself twice in 9 months, which is fine. And last week I was able to. So they had a weight thing, oh god, my brain, with like handles, and then my partner was there and the nurse was there, so I had a lot of help. And so I was able to get an accurate reading. So that was kind of helpful, but I did ask, I was like, do you guys have any other accessible way of like weighing someone in a wheelchair if they can't get out of the chair? And she was like, I don't really know, at least not in our clinic. But if you guys have any tips on that, please let me know. Another thing that's happened the last few weeks is my anatomy scan I had done at 22 weeks. That was an interesting experience. So all in all, I think it went great. Like everything with baby checked out and looked okay. So there was one thing that stuck out that was really interesting. So during the scan, the baby was moving a lot, super active, and they were having a hard time imaging certain parts of the anatomy. Luckily all the vital organs were good to go, but the one part they couldn't get like a really good picture of was the feet and the positioning of the feet, which I found really interesting. And so they were just unsure of if they were forming correctly and if there was anything wrong there, and so I was scheduled for a follow-up that I just had yesterday. So I'll probably make a separate video on that, because that was a whole other experience, and I don't know, it was just like, it gave me this idea of like, so what if, or this thought of like, what if my kid has CMT or some other disability? How will we handle that? Not that I've never thought of that before, but it really hit me and made me think seriously about it. So I think that is something that we should discuss and talk more about. So let's see, what else has been going on? Sleeping has been getting more challenging. I think the two biggest things are just like finding good positioning it's just becoming more uncomfortable and getting up to pee a lot. Which is actually not a huge issue. So I stay really hydrated. I drink 8 cups of water a day, which some people recommend more. But I think for my size and my activity level, 8 is. Keep an eye on my urine, what color it is, and yeah, I'm very aware of my hydration. So, I don't know. I just think I don't get up a ton. Maybe that'll change later. As things shift and move. But so far, probably at the most 3 times a night. Usually 2, twice a night. And then I have a really hard time getting back to sleep. I'll just toss and turn. So usually the first hour I'm in bed, I'm just tossing and turning, trying to find the right positioning and everything's uncomfortable. So I'm not using a pregnancy pillow right now. I have one. It's over there. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's a boppy one. Got that from a friend, used, and I hate it, so, but I feel like I should try to just do a pillow between my legs. Maybe that alone would help. Yeah, like last night was like the first like good solid night of sleep I got in a while. I feel like that's gonna become more and more of a thing. But yeah. So back pain is a little bit of a thing, so like been really trying to work on my posture and how I sit, especially in my chair, which was already a goal of mine to work on my pushing posture, but just really keeping it straight. Yeah, because I guess just the slouching can be really hard on your lower back and just also kind of cramps the baby. So that's something I'm staying aware of and trying to not sit on the couch a ton. Still sitting on the couch for a long time and just sitting in general in my chair for long periods of time can be hard on my back, and my tailbone has been difficult lately. So stretching is a thing. Diet, I think it's going well. I feel like I'm eating pretty well, so I feel like my diet is like 80-20. I eat mindfully. Probably the term I would use. I don't know if I agree with healthy, but I eat mindfully, like where I'm thinking about what I'm eating. I'm trying to eat balanced, probably 80% of the time, and then kind of just go with it 20% of the time. And go with it means just kind of indulge, let myself snack on some sweet things or candy's kind of my indulgence. I don't eat out a ton as far as like fast food. That's really not a thing right now. Maybe like when we're traveling or going out of town, it's a thing. But yeah, I feel pretty well. I'm not like eating salads and kale 24/7, so I'm not like the epitome of health. But I'm being very mindful and thinking a lot about like, should I be eating this? What did I eat for my last meal? Is this like helping me maintain the balance in my nutrition? So I'm thinking, I'm conscious of it. Okay, excuse the interruption. That's the whole thing. What was I talking about? Diet's fine. Physical activity. Still doing stretching, ball exercises. So those aren't happening as often as I would like. So stretching probably happens twice a week, sitting on the ball. Pregnancy, whatever exercise ball you want to call it. Probably once or twice a week. So my goal was to switch off of those so something was happening every day. Not happening. I don't know why. I'm just not. I really haven't focused on making it a habit, making it a routine every night. Also standing, trying to make that a thing, really work on my standing, because that's something I'm not doing enough. Have my crutch in the living room. It'd be great if I had other options like a walker or something to use, but my crutch and my partner will help me like kind of just stand for a little bit, take a few steps around. Cause I really can't walk around at this point, but at least stand for a few minutes every day, which isn't happening currently, but it's a goal of mine. It's intended. Something that's becoming difficult is bending. So as the belly grows, and you're sitting in a chair, bending over becomes difficult because your stomach's in the way. So usually in my chair I can reach the ground, grab things off the ground pretty easily, or go off the side. Sometimes side bending is easier. Right now bending forward is almost impossible. I'm sure in a few more weeks, another 3 to 4 weeks, this will be no-go. Yeah, so I'm doing mostly side bending to kind of go around, but that can be really hard as well. And that also includes like certain transfers, like getting in and out of the bathtub is starting to get interesting. But if you've seen I posted an Instagram video of how I get in and out of the bathtub. I kind of use a squatting position, so my legs are like this, so I can kind of get around my belly area when I'm getting out. I don't necessarily need to press up against it. So we'll see how that goes. But like how floor transfers are kind of difficult. But I guess it's the same idea. It's just like kind of using a squatting position and trying to work around the stomach. For the most part, is working okay so far, but could become difficulty very soon. Let's see. So I've been doing a lot of meditation, relaxing, and that's something I've been doing. At least for the last 2-3 months, so since the beginning of to middle of 2nd trimester. I've been using like the Gentle Birth app for meditation. They have like meditation, relaxation, and hypno birthing tracks on there, and I listen to at least 2 or 3 of those every night. So 30 to 45 minutes of relaxation meditation every night, which was really helpful for my sleep for a while. And then I don't know, something's happened in the last few weeks where I've been kind of out of it. Like the same things happened with my physical activity and exercising, and meditation I've kind of disconnected from some of my regular activities that I do. I'm not sure quite what it is. I don't know, I've been really out of it. So trying to really focus back on that meditation practice, because that was really helpful. I'm hoping to utilize that in the labor and birthing process as a pain management tool. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Reading. I've been doing a lot of reading lately. So in the last 2 months, I've read 3 or 4 books. So I read Ina May's Guide to, I think, Pregnancy and Childbirth. It's really popular, I'm sure. If you're pregnant or have had kids, you even recommended that book. It was good. I don't know. I read it right after reading the Hypnobirthing book by Marie Monaghan, I believe. I also read the Gentle Birth book, which I thought was really helpful, actually. It was a little easier to integrate into my life and more realistic than the Hypnobirthing. But I'm kind of taking in a little bit of both. As far as Ina May's Guide to Birth and Pregnancy, or whatever that was, it was okay. I kind of felt like so the first half was like stories, like birth stories, and the second half goes through like every stage of pregnancy and labor and birth and afterwards. And I don't know, I felt like it was kind of negative at a lot of points, especially the second half, where it was like, avoid this, don't do that. You could die from this, like, I don't know, like intervention's bad. It felt like a lot of no, but there was also a lot of like, do this, practice this, like this is how to prepare. I don't know, but maybe I focused too much on the negative part, and I felt like it was kind of negative. I don't know, which was surprising to me because I got recommended by a lot of people. But so far the Gentle Birth one was my favorite. I was considering doing the Gentle Birthing birth course, but since I already read the book, I was like, let me experience something else. So I think I'm going to do the Positive Birth Company birth course. Start that in the next few weeks. We'll see. I'll update you on that. I've heard good things. Let's see. Oh, another book I'm reading. Sorry, one more. Because I also posted about this on Instagram. What is the Disabled Woman's Guide to Pregnancy, I believe it's called. Great so far. I haven't read the whole thing. I got a sample on Kindle of the first 3 chapters, and It's surprisingly really expensive. It's like $27, the Kindle version, which is really expensive for an ebook. So I was like, I really need to sample this because this could be a total crock. It isn't. I thought it was amazing, like the first 3 chapters, and I even mentioned CMT, my condition, which is, I really don't find that a lot in disability books or literature, so that was really cool, and I was like, hey, this feels really relevant, and I don't know, the scope was so broad. Okay, holy cow, another interruption. I bet my storage was full, because yes, I film all these on my phone, because I'm winging it right now. Okay, I was talking about the Disabled Woman's Guide to Pregnancy, really good book. I would like to continue reading. And yes, I'm going to invest $27, which I was on the fence about, but it's worth it. So, do that. Okay, Baby Moon, we did do that, whatever Baby Moon is, whatever. We took a weekend trip. My partner posted a video about that a few weeks ago. We went to Great Sand Dunes National Park. Super fun. I don't know, it was just relaxing. We didn't really do a lot, honestly. We weren't like sand boarding down anything, because I'm not like cool and adventurous like that. But we explored, watched people, hung out, talked, enjoyed each other's company. And that was fun. I think that was the point, was enjoying each other's company and having couple time, together time, before baby. So we still have a lot of time, we still have 3 months, but with the winter coming and everything, we wanted to make sure we got out well. The weather was so nice, and it was a really nice weekend. So check that video out. Other things, other preparations I've been making. I have a basket full of clothes. I've got another stuff, more used stuff, another carrier, got an Ergo baby carrier for a really good deal on Poshmark. My mom brought some blankets over that she made. They visited this past weekend from Utah, and she brought those. They're very cute. Honestly, not a lot in terms of prep. I've kind of just been spacing it out lately, which is fine because we have plenty of time and I'm super prepared. So it's okay to space out for a few weeks. Yeah, anyway, what else? Shower, we're on the fence about doing a baby shower, virtual baby shower. I had a family member offer to organize one. I don't know. I'm on the fence because it seems kind of weird. No, virtual things like that can be super awkward. So I'm just trying to connect with this person and be like, so what kind of ideas do you have? Is this not going to be weird? And just get more of an idea. If it's something that we want to do, we'll probably do it in the next few weeks. So, I don't know. I think it'd be a great time to connect and celebrate the pregnancy because we're trying to celebrate and like be more like in it, because we got married back in April and weren't really able to celebrate that. You know, we didn't have a reception, we didn't have a honeymoon for a wedding. So a lot of things in our life have been like not celebrated or stalled. We're like, this is a big moment. We're pregnant. We're bringing life to this world. Let's take every opportunity to celebrate. So even if it's a lame virtual baby shower, we'll try it out. Maybe. I'll keep you posted. Okay. Maternity photo shoot. Another thing on the fence about. Those are so cheesy. Like that's something I cannot get over. If I can find a way to do it that's not cheesy and weird, maybe. I think I just have to in my style where it's just casual at home, just taking a few pictures to document the bump and the process. I don't think it needs to be like an official photo shoot because one, that's not my thing. I'm really weird with taking photos and posing and cameras. I think I can tell. So yeah, we'll probably do that. I'm getting pretty big. Like you can definitely, there's a pretty large bumpification happening, but maybe wait till it's like really out there. Okay, that's pretty much it. I think the last thing is just my mental health, because all the time, so this has been the whole thing where people will check in with me and be like, so how are you doing? And I'm like, physically, I think I'm doing pretty A-okay. Like, there's really nothing starkly out there that's really bugging me, but mentally, I'd be struggling. Like, I don't know, there's just times where I'm depressed, where I'm anxious, where I feel very isolated in my pregnancy, where it's hard to relate to other people. Maybe that's because I'm in a wheelchair and I just have a unique scenario, or maybe that's because I don't have those physical symptoms that other people have, and then they kind of are like, oh, you're lucky, like, good for you, and they get like, I don't know, mad at me because my pregnancy is easy. Yeah, and just trying to be on the same page with my partner. We're making a lot of life transitions because this wasn't the most planned scenario, so we're really trying to like mentally catch up with everything. And that's been hard for us to like prepare to become parents, kind of, you know, it's just a lot. And, you know, being newly married, we've been together for 7 years, but it's still a lot. We've moved recently to another state. There's so much change, and I'm like struggling to stay on top of it all. So I think balancing that physical versus mental, emotional wellness has been an interesting game for me. I don't know, mind game, because yes, physically I would say I'm doing fine. There's really not a lot going on there besides the protrusion. But mentally, it's like day to day. There's some days where I'm just like in a bad mood, where I'm in a funk, and I'm pissed off with my partner, and I'm mad at him for no reason, and where I'm sad, or, you know, like, I feel like I've had Monday and yesterday, I had a few breakdowns where I was just like crying for like no good reason, very emotional. Yeah, just like sobbing. Like after that initial anatomy scan, another breakdown, sobbing. I'll tell that story. So I've had quite a few just like emotional outbursts, and you know, that's not uncommon in pregnancy. There's hormones raging, there's things kind of out of our control, and that is a very good way to say it is. I just feel out of control. There's so much happening to my body, my mind, and my whole system that I feel out of control of, because it's just happening regardless if I don't have a say in it. It's just going to happen. So it's just hard to find those things in life that I do have control over, especially in these days where there's a pandemic and where there's just so much going on that we don't have control over. It makes pregnancy even more interesting and difficult. I'm kind of curious how other pregnant women have experienced that. I don't know, or if you've ever felt isolated, being like, I have more mental health or like emotional symptoms than physical ones, and people kind of look down on me or like shame me for that, because every time I say that, where I'm like, I'm fine, they're just like, oh, okay, you know, and just like rolling their eyes, and they think that means that everything's fine, and they don't check in about anything else. And I'm like, hey, I'm actually struggling here, just because I'm not throwing up or uncomfortable in any other way. There's a lot going on under the surface. And I'm very, I don't know, it's just hard to talk about. So let me know if anyone else can relate to that, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. I feel like I'm a weirdo. So I'd love to not feel that way. But all in all, things are good. Things are happening. I'm on Instagram now. Check me out. Head along for the road. Yeah, I'm just trying to take care of myself mentally, physically, and take care of Baba. So we'll see how things go. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll do another one of these, one more before I pop, I guess, towards the end of the 3rd trimester. And we'll just see how things progress. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. What has your experience been in or out of a wheelchair or a disability? Just in pregnancy in general. But if you have been pregnant in a wheelchair, it'd be really cool to hear your story, because those are stories I don't hear a lot of. Or if you have any other type of disability that doesn't have you in a wheelchair, share. Like, because I'm just in a place of real curiosity right now in isolation where I just I'm hungry for like relating to people in that kind of way. So I really like to hear that. So let me know what you guys think. This was interesting. And I'll talk to you guys later.